Welcome to a conversation about. Today we have Tierra Robinson joining us. First off, before we get anything started, Tierra, welcome. Thank you for coming on, and I'm really excited for this conversation.
Thank you for having me. So am I, because
So, we met last summer at Walmart. We were working overnight, and I was telling you this earlier, but when I first started or applied at Walmart, I was really scared that Walmart was going to be like a really crappy job. You know, you hear the horror stories of how much people hate their life at Walmart. And then overnight, I thought, man, this is going to be really crappy. But I was pleasantly surprised to meet some really good friends like you.
yeah, I at first like when I started working at Walmart, it was in 2020, literally when COVID first started, and I only worked there for like 3 weeks. Bad because before school started, and then I was like, okay, well, like I'll come back and stuff. And then that's when I met you, and I was like, well, who are all of these new people? Like, this is a lot going on, but it was definitely hard at first because you're working
Mhm.
overnight. That's the time you're supposed to be sleeping and not working.
Yeah.
And so it was cool. Like once I got used to um the atmosphere of working overnight and seeing how like the job really was, it was really relaxed. It was just put stuff on the shelf, make it look nice, and go home and go to sleep.
Right, and go to sleep during the day. Yeah, I mean, once I started like fitting in with everyone, started getting in the zone, figuring out like the flow of things, I thought it was, not bad, pretty cool. And starting to meet people and then starting to learn that like you're a student athlete, that you moved from California, and then like everyone else too, everyone kind of had their own little story. So I thought that was pretty cool. A lot of times I see people working overnight. Like back when Walmart was 24 hours, I saw people working overnight with their headphones plugged in and they're just kind of doing their thing. So I thought, you know what, let me not bother them. But it turns out they're pretty cool people.
You know, I honestly glad that it's not 24 hours anymore.
Yeah.
I don't think anything would have gotten done if Walmart was still 24 hours because everyone like, oh, where's this? And then like, of course, you have to be mindful of the customer. They come first and everything. It's like,
Hmm.
I'm gonna get my job done. I understand you can help, but I have a lot that I have to do, like all of this free.
Right.
But no, now that doors are closed at 7, I mean, doors are closed at 11, my bad. Um, it's just really cool, really feel. And it's really fun. Like, um, a couple days ago, my memories came up of the time where we were at work and the storm
Mm.
hit and
Yeah.
the and the power went out and we had to cover everything. I said, no, that was definitely a day to remember. And
Right.
the Whataburger. I remember
Hmm.
we were in the break room with the little flashlight just sitting
Yes.
there and then some guy walked out and it was completely dark. I said, "Damn," like lighting up the entire room. Like
That's so funny. I had forgotten about that, but you're right. She walked out and that little light was covering the whole room and it was pitch black. Good
I used to
times.
have our phones. I was like,
Man, Walmart was a trip.
No, it was so fun though. I definitely
Yeah.
miss the guys that we have worked with for sure.
Yeah, I think so too. I think I made really good friends with everyone that I worked with that summer, like you and Nick and everyone else. So let's jump into the conversation. Enough about Walmart because at this point I kind of hate it now. So I actually wanted to hear your story from moving from California over to Texas and how that's been. I'm sure it's been a journey at the very least.
It definitely has been a journey for sure. Coming out of high school, I knew that I wanted to run in college. Did I know where? No. I, I just knew that schools wanted me, of course, from like all over. But I let my coach really handle all of my recruiting. He kept telling me like all these schools wanted me and like wanted to stay with. And we sat down and he told me what the schools were. And he's like, I already told them like she's not interested. Um, simply because of the location, um, the state for sure, and the type of school it is. Like, of course, all schools are good in sports, like for the people that they recruit. But my coach had the best intentions and wanted me to go somewhere that he knew I would definitely like make an impact in. And I was like, okay, that's pretty chill. And he told me about the SEC and what it was like. And in the beginning, at first, like I had no idea what the SEC was. Like I didn't even know schools had conferences. Like I did, but I didn't know like the importance of it or anything. And so it was like, well, SEC is really a great competitive conference, and I think that you'll make a great fit in it. So like, all right, cool. So I went to go look up all of the SEC schools, like, and they all came up. I was like, Auburn. I was like, I don't even know where Auburn is. Uh,
Still don't know where Auburn is.
I don't. And so I looked at Auburn. Like I looked at all the schools, and I was like, also depends on what color I want to wear too, and what I think
That's important for sure.
what would look good on my body. So I was like, okay, well, these are some of them that I'm interested in. But one of them that I really fell in love with, of course, A&M. Um, I came and I took a visit. I did home visits first. So I did a home visit with Oregon, Arkansas, A&M, Purdue. I really do a lot of them, only because a lot of schools like now, like it's okay, cool with that, and also because like, that my coach had too. It was like, oh yeah, like you, we'll set it up and everything. They are at all my home visits. So I knew I was in good hands based on everything that happened. And so after my home visits, I took official visits to A&M. A&M was my first one, and then I went to Purdue afterwards. Yeah, Purdue was my second one, and then Arkansas was my third. So I only did three, and normally, you can do five, but I did all of mine back to back, like in September. I remember because I was gone like Thursday to Sunday for like 3 weeks straight. It was tough, really tough for school, like school wise and everything. But A&M was my first visit, and like when I got here, it was hot. It
Yeah.
was so freaking
Yeah.
hot.
Welcome to Texas.
I'm like, where is September? So hot out here.
Yeah.
Like, where's the fall? Like, where's the getting ready and like Thanksgiving and Christmas? No,
No, you don't get any of that. You get hot the whole year and like a week of cold and then back to hot.
yes. What a
Mhm.
splash rain turns into a river. But I flew to Austin, and then the coaches came and got me, and I remember I was so tired from traveling because it was like a 3.5 hour flight, and that was long to me. It still is. Like I hate traveling
Yeah.
home because how long it is. Um, and I remember sitting in the passenger seat. My mom was like, "Sit in the passenger seat." She's like, "You better not fall asleep either." I said, "Bro, I'm tired." But the coaches, they talking to me and everything, and like, "We're so excited to have you here. Like, I can't wait and everything. Like, I think you make a great fit." Like, yeah, like I'm excited. It's Texas and stuff. And like, we were coming from Austin at
Sure.
night, and now that I'm used to that drive, like I'm not used to it, but like I've been through it a couple times. I'm like, where are we going? Like, we've been driving for the past 2 hours.
Yeah.
It's it's pitch black for one.
Hmm.
We have not eaten anything, and it's like going on 10 o'clock, like 10:30. It's like, oh my gosh, we gotta hurry up and eat something. But we made it, hotel and everything, and like I wasn't the only person here on the visit. So I was like $36 a travel day. So throughout my visit, um, I really just fell in love with it. Like I told my mom, I was like, I told her in our room, I was like, I'm coming here and
Oh.
I want to sign today. She was like, no, you're not signing. You're gonna explore your other options, and then we're gonna sit down and talk about it. I said, and that's fine, but I'm coming here. So I like the atmosphere of it. I like how what really got me was how close everything was because it was a
Really?
college. Yeah. And I
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
at the time I didn't have my license. And so it was very much Uber,
Hmm.
Lyft, like getting groceries delivered and stuff. And of course until like I got comfortable with my teammates and everything. Um, but no, I was like, I really like the campus. I love the campus. My business school, like that's what drawn like
Hmm.
that got I love this school. I want to be a part of the school so bad. Times are different now. No, I'm not a part of the school anymore. But no, I love the atmosphere here, and both my uh grandparents on both my mom and dad's side are from Texas, and
Okay.
so they felt comfortable. Like really, my mom's side, my mom's mom and her dad felt comfortable with me coming to Texas school, and so they were like, "All right, just be careful, and need anything, like call me. It doesn't matter the time of day, like just call me. Don't be shy. You gonna get home." I was like, I'm not gonna like no, like I think I'm
Yeah. You're ready to move out on your own and just do your own like own thing.
literally like yeah, I was 18, but I'm like, dude, I'm in college now. Like I'm 1,500 miles away. Like
All
you
this
can't,
freedom.
man. Like oh, I'm gonna pull up. No, you're not. You got a plane, and then you gotta drive. Like no, it's cool. The overall is cool, and I love it. Like I could definitely see myself living in Texas for sure. Minus the weather, but we
Minus the weather, yeah.
can't control the weather. But no, Texas definitely has a little place in my heart.
Oh, so I guess for the people who don't know, first, you're a student athlete and you're a runner.
Yes,
But what I didn't know is it sounds like you had a lot of people supporting you on your decision to move out here.
I did. Yeah, my family was really a big one, and then my coach, like my high school coach, is definitely someone I consider like a second dad. Like my
Uh,
uncle, definitely like someone I can call on and be like, hey, like let's chit chat. He definitely has my best intentions for sure. He's actually been my only coach ever since I started
oh
running.
wow,
Yeah, so he practically raised me like since I was
yeah.
running under him.
Oh
And
wow, I didn't
that's
know
my
you've been running for that long.
yeah going on. Actually, this makes 15 years, which is crazy.
Wow, I run once a month, and that's too much. My knees start hurting. So, wow.
No.
Yeah,
What?
something about when you turn 22, just your joints just aren't the same. Everything starts hurting.
Okay, well, yes, I can. I can relate to that, but just for once a month though, like you need to do better.
Yeah, you know what though? I do the elliptical every day when I go to the gym. It's so much easier on my joints, I find.
No, and that's been getting like really good reviews too. I want to try it out. No,
I
that
think it's pretty cool. I feel like the workout I get, like the motion is pretty much very similar. So I feel like it's pretty comparable. And I'm joking. I run maybe twice a week. That was an exaggeration. I run maybe twice a week, and then the other 4 days that I work out, I'll do the elliptical. But yeah,
you
joints.
once a month. I'm like, basically, you year. Okay.
No, okay. So when you talked about your first drive over here from Austin to College Station, because I live or my family lives right beside College Station, and I live in Austin. I do that drive all the time, and you're right, man. That darkness, and especially when I drive home at night, it's like, man, it's lonely on the road out there.
No, literally, and like if you were to go, I mean, same with Dallas too.
Yeah.
I've done drive, like I mean, I didn't drive to Dallas, no, but I was sat in the car on the way to Dallas. And I'm like, y'all got for one, it's nothing but land here, and on
Hmm.
top of when it gets dark, like going to Austin and going to Dallas, specifically those two cities, it gets dark. Like
It gets
it's
dark.
dark. Like the type of darkness is like you're like you have blackout curtains everywhere and you're just standing by yourself.
Right, and you got the little light on your radio, kind of playing the music, and that's like
Yeah.
all you got. Yeah.
No, it gives scary movie vibes for sure. Like Houston is different though because on the way to Houston from College Station, you have gas stations
Yeah.
like the yield lights, or you have like the construction lights and everything. Like you have some type of light. But going to Austin, Dallas, it's literally YOLO and attacked by an animal, or if you like, just end up missing. Sorry, but no.
And those vibes are so different than what you're used to in California, I'm sure.
Oh no, 100%. We have lights everywhere. Wherever you go, you're always gonna have some type of light.
I don't know. So Honestly, sometimes though, I'll stop on the side of the road and just kind of look at the stars too. I don't usually have very much time for that, and it's also not very safe for other people to do. But I do like how it is dark. That it's so such that you can see the stars at night.
Seeing the stars are cool, yes. When you're on a beach with like other people and you're in a group and you're surrounded by people, like you're not just, oh, I think I'm gonna pull over. No, you looking at the stars, like, well lit area, and when you're down the street from your house or even on your roof of the house to get pretty much safer that way. I would need you to not die, please, because
Yeah, good point. Good point. But no, I that's one thing I do like about Texas that I haven't seen. Well, I guess I have been to other states that are kind of like that, but the way you see the stars at night at Texas is just different.
yes,
Like
literally
that
like
song says, whatever that song is.
what's the
The Texas song. What is it? The stars at night or deep and bright, deep in the heart of Texas or something like that. I don't know.
I
It's a cringe. It's a cringe Texas culture thing. I'm sure California doesn't really have that, but like I'm sure now, like that are from Texas, like love Texas, like just everything about it.
no, you guys like, oh, everything is bigger in Texas and this, Texas that. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, especially going to A&M though. Like I would say A&M is like the most culture Texas based school there is.
No, I
Like all
agree.
the traditions you guys have and everything. My two of my best friends go there, and I always tell them it's like joining a cult, which I'm sure you'll get mad at for me saying that. But we're also rivals because I ended up
That
going to UT.
uh, yeah, we are. They're very much rivals, but um, on the on the star thing though, when I like during lunchtime when I went into work last night,
Mhm.
the was a toenail and it was like stars all over. It was really. I was like, wow, definitely gonna go to sleep now. Only
Yeah.
5 more hours left. But I was really excited. But in terms of A&M, I do love the vibes. One thing, and like being that athlete, definitely see like how much people really love sports. I mean, of course,
Yeah. Yeah.
um, football is definitely like a very big sport here in Texas. So every
Mhm.
time like that happens, like everybody, like all the alumni come and they're like, yeah, football, football, football. But even like for other games, so like big championship games,
Mhm.
um, everybody always comes stuff, and I love it honestly. It's like wow. Not only do you want to watch us so that we can entertain you, you also spend your money, which of
Yeah.
course. But I like our tradition. Like I will say, my favorite tradition is Aggie ring, um,
Hmm.
and we have Yales too. And that's one thing that did draw me away from A&M. We we don't have cheerleaders. We have Yale leaders.
Yale
So
leaders. Yeah.
yeah. So just people like starting off like yells or like cheers and chants and stuff that we have. But they're really cool though. And then of
They
course
grow
we
on
have
you, I'm sure.
oh yeah, no. Cause I like I've been here and like I even went we have something called Midnight Yell too. Um
Yeah.
my host who literally just left and she graduated from grad school and moved back home.
Wow.
Um she took me to a Midnight Yell on my visit. And I was like, oh, this is cool. Like, what is this? And so she was explaining everything. And I was like, I can get down with this. Like
Yeah.
I like I have so much energy and I'm really energetic and like outgoing and everything. Like I always wanted to be a part of like oh like be a part of like any like festivity that enjoyed like cheering stuff. Like yep, that so I was into it. I was like, I like this. Like I really enjoy this. So I love A&M. In terms of living here, like in the city itself, probably not. Only because get tired of like being in the college
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah, I
crowded.
don't I don't because of where my family lives, like we go to College Station pretty often for like groceries and stuff, but I like the big city vibes a lot more. So I'm
Mm,
sure you've heard of this tradition already, but somewhere on campus at A&M, I used to be a big A&M fan. Like I wanted to go to A&M. I was dead set on it. Think Thankfully, I changed my mind and came to UT.
Mm,
But that's a that's a different story. There is this like circle with a star on it that if you accidentally step on, like you don't graduate from UT or not from A&M on time or something like that. Have you heard of that?
okay. I have not heard about that, but I think I do know what star you're talking about, because it's right in front of it's not the academic building. Um, I forgot. I know that I have the building in my mind. I know what you're talking about though, because it's literally right behind Simpson Field,
Hmm.
which is over by MSD, and it has like pillars and everything.
Uh huh.
Um, I have not heard about that tradition, no, but I don't walk on it. Like,
No one walks on it. If you've noticed, nobody walks on it because it's supposed to be like bad luck. Like if you step on it, you won't graduate on time or at all from A&M.
I've seen people step on it, yes, like visitors and everything, because
Hmm. Visitors, yeah.
uh,
And so
oh,
I was dead set on going to A&M, and on my last time ever stepping on campus, I accidentally walked on the star, and
that's
then I
what
ended
made
up not going. So maybe that's true.
what is it? Okay.
My best
That's not
friend was going there at the time, and he was like, "Whatever you do, don't step on that because you won't graduate on time, like as part of the tradition." And we were walking and talking, and before we realized it, I was like walking right in the middle, and he's like, "Oh, dude, you messed up."
that's hecka funny. Wow, I didn't. Wow, that's.
Long story short, that's why I'm at UT.
I did not know that, but no, I no any like memorial thing or like, any statue that's on the ground or like engraved and stuff. I simply because of the fact that I am really scared of bad luck and
Yeah.
thing bad happening to me.
Are you superstitious at all?
Honestly, I have no idea. I do not know. Like
Yeah,
I don't.
I definitely wasn't until that moment when I stepped down. Like, oh man, this is gonna mess up my life. Thankfully, it
Wait.
messed it up for in a good way.
I know
Yeah,
there's a tree that
yeah.
you are not supposed to walk under.
Hmm.
The like it's like if you walk under it by yourself, then you're gonna be alone for the rest of your life.
Yeah,
Or, or if you walk under it like with your significant other, then you're gonna be together like forever.
yeah. I have heard of that one. I don't know. A&M traditions they're interesting. I think they're pretty cool. We don't have that kind of stuff at UT, so I always grew up learning about those just because of how Texas is. But there's no like California culture, right? Like I never really hear people talking about other states, maybe Florida, the way they talk about the way Texas talks about Texas.
California, like that's funny because one of my closest friends asked me, "Is like, what is California vibe? Like, y'all have a culture, you guys have a culture and everything, but like every time I go, like I'll just be out there, like, what do you guys do?" And even though I am a Californian, I literally just say we vibe, like going on, like go with the flow. Like everybody does their own thing. Um, gatherings happen, of course. It's really just like I don't know, like just like I don't talk about it. I just go like with the flow. Like, oh, we're gonna go hang out at the lake today. Like, all right, cool. Have a little picnic, go get something to eat, like catch up and stuff. Like, I don't know. It's pretty like I like it. It's really relaxed and calm and laid back. But I don't know.
I guess it's just Texas people that like want to have some kind of culture in every state. We grow up learning about like Hollywood. Yeah, everybody knows Hollywood. Everybody knows like LA. Everyone knows what's the other one? San Diego, I think too. Like everyone knows like these big California cities. San Francisco, that's the one I was thinking, and the Golden Gate Bridge and stuff. But I don't. That's all I could ever really think about when I think about California, and that's cool with me because I like big city vibes.
I'm glad that you said other cities besides LA because every time people talk about California, they all from California. They're like, "Oh, like what part?" And I'll tell them like one part. I'll say like at this point, I just say Northern California, or
Okay.
whenever. Oh, where the Warriors, like where the Raiders are from. Okay, yeah, because immediately it's always, "Oh, are you from LA?" No.
I
No,
bet that's so annoying too.
it is because I'm like that's the first thing that comes to mind. Which I know, of course, because LA is really like super big and everything. But I'm
Mhm.
like, there's so much more to California than just Southern California. Like nothing against them, of course, but LA is not the only city, California. And so,
I've been to California once. We went to San Jose. Actually,
okay,
we stayed in Palo Alto. We went to Stanford for a debate tournament. We lost, so not that fancy of an experience. It was a great time though, going like to San Francisco and stuff and everything. Uh, I don't know. I really liked California. We went during, I think it was spring break, so during March. So it was like kind of cool in the mornings, and then it was
yeah,
like really nice throughout the rest of the day. And I thought, man, you know what? I like this because Texas, it's hot from the get go. From 7 a.m. it's hot.
exactly. No, that's another thing why I love my state so very dearly because you guys don't have seasons out here. It's very much just whatever Mother Nature feels like it. Okay, we're gonna be freezing cold today, and it drops down to like 40. Or it's gonna be like, okay, we're gonna be 96, but we're gonna feel like 105 today.
Right.
Or no, I think we're gonna rain today. And I'm just like, bro, one day I got shorts on, another day I got long sleeve shirt on. Now I got my rain boots on. Now I got my
Right.
I'm like,
And sometimes all on the same day.
yes. Like so many times I do. But compared to California, look, whatever it says throughout the week, that's what it's gonna be. There's no changes, there's no nothing. Hey, might have a small little change, but no, like no, I love my state. But going in March though is definitely a good time because that is like spring, like top of the spring, like slowly getting into summer.
Mhm.
And it's more of a consistent, like, okay, we're gonna be a little cold in the morning, but then like we're actually gonna warm up. And surprisingly, San Francisco does get warm. So you got lucky because normally it's seen as like it's by the water and stuff.
Hmm.
Yeah, nah, you got lucky for sure.
Yeah, I think when we went, the water was really cold too. What I
Mhm.
did want to ask is, so like, what are some landmark sites in California that you go to? So I'm sure like you go to maybe Hollywood once to look at the letters and maybe like the Golden Gate Bridge once, just to kind of experience it. But those aren't things like you do very often, right? Like you do it once, you're like, okay, I get it. Like this is it. There's not much more to do here.
Yeah, LA, of course, has Disneyland there and like Magic
Hmm.
Mountain. And I think I gotta double check that, but I know Magic Mountain is another one. Um, the bridge, yes, because the Warriors play over there too, and like their new stadium now is really big. Um, in my hometown though, I'll say like the Oakland Zoo, like the name of the city is Oakland, and so it's like the Oakland Zoo. Um, there's I can't remember the name of it, but a lot of people went. It's like over the coast, but it has a name. It's not. I don't think it's Mission Peaks, but there's a place that you could drive to, and it's just like water, mountains, like
Oh,
hills, stuff. It's like a really nice relaxing place because we did it. Big Sur. That's another. That's what it is. Because my family went before my sister went off to college. We did like a little family trip.
hmm.
Uh, left, and that's where we went. Another amusement park, like Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk, which of course is it's worth it though. And then Great America, which is actually
Oh yeah.
it's next to actually it's not next to the 49ers stadium. It's actually next to Great America because Great
Oh
America was
really?
before. It's
When I went to California, we stayed right across from Great America. I didn't know that.
oh, you were out there. Okay, so
Yeah,
yeah.
we were out there.
Yeah, you probably did see the stadium then.
I must have. Wait, no, I think
Oh.
actually, if I remember correctly, there we did go to the stadium. We took pictures there. Actually, now that you mention it, it's been so long.
Because this probably if you do remember, just a big old parking lot that like connects between Great America and the stadium.
So I think when we went, was there a Super Bowl there recently, like 2015 or something? I don't know. There was like a big game, and we went like the week before there was a big game. It must have not have been the Super Bowl, but I don't know. I'm not much into sports, as you can tell. But I know there was like a really big game the next week, right after we were there.
If it was so wait, you went in March? Because Super Bowl is always in February. Uh,
Yeah, it could have been
I was
February though. This was like 2015, 2016. So my memory's not that great. Sometimes I can barely remember what I ate for breakfast the day before. So
oh gosh, okay, yeah, need to do better on that. Sure, memory loss. I don't know though. I'm pretty sure there was a Super Bowl held there somewhere. And there's a lot of small places to sightsee, like really just to travel. Because that's another thing that I like about Oakland and like the Bay Area. You're surrounded by water, but like during the day, if you were to go to wow, now me blanking on the name. It's in my uh head. Um I forgot what it is, but it's over the direction of Sacramento. And so um it has like like sand where you can like pull over. It's off the freeway,
oh,
of course. But it's like a little it's like sand and like beach sharks, like all like the little beachy stuff and then like it's the water. And so if you get it at the right time, when the sun is setting, like you'll see the sun glistening like off the water
ooh,
when the sun sets. And one of the new bridges, but it's not new anymore. But I remember when we had got our new bridge and they put um the bridge that connects Oakland and San Francisco, by the way, because I know some people don't know about that bridge, but they put white lights up on it.
oh,
Or whenever like you were to drive across or even, like sing it at night, or even flying out of San Francisco too, you would see the bridge just lit up and you would see all
wow,
of the lights and stuff. It's so pretty. And it's yeah, I love it so much because it's like you can see you have the sunset set right here, and you have like all the lights turning on, and like really just the bridge. Like, all right, my time to shine. Like I'm here.
right. My time to go off.
Yes, no, it's a lot. Like depending on where you go, for, um, you will definitely not be sad once you leave. You'll probably
So I would recommend everyone go and travel, but definitely to California because I know a lot of, especially here in Texas, a lot of people hate Californians. Like all I can hear about is, oh, we hate California and this and that. But I don't know. Maybe if they gave it a try, actually went to visit, they might find it's not that bad of a place. So I wanted to ask, do you have like bad experiences, or have you had bad experiences when you tell people, oh, I'm from Cali? Because I know there's a lot of hate towards, especially California right now. Um, I don't know. Do you get like a bad experience, or have you had bad experiences?
actually no. If anything, they're like, and you came to Texas? Like, you moved all the way from California to Texas. And I literally was like, yeah. And then of course they asked why. They're like, oh, I go to school here. I run. They're like, okay. Like, all right.
Yeah, it
But
starts making sense.
yeah, and first it's like a shocker. And then it's like you're surprised. And then it's like, wait, she said she's from California. So everything here for her is cheap. I'm like, look, I'm from California and that everything is cheap to me. It's I know prices are high right now, and like I know cost of living. My state is going to be its own state.
Mhm.
And hearing people complain about like prices and stuff, I'm like, okay. They're like, well, you're from
Just part of it.
I know, and you're complaining over like in today's world, which I know is considered law for Texas, but $4 at home is very much $5 to $7 for a gallon. So
Yeah, that sounds crazy. Because $4, honestly, $4 hurts to pump at. We're used to pumping at like $2, 2.50 or something. So when we saw $4, that was scary. That was
yeah,
really scary.
and my friend back at home, he literally filled up his tank. $120.
Oh
I said,
my.
"That's grocery money." I
Yeah, that hurt. That hurt just listening to it.
I'm like, "I can put that money into somewhere, like, equally, and not
Right.
just
Make
in the
better
gas."
use of it. Right, you can make much better use of it.
No, literally, but I don't know, people are just like, "Oh, wow, like, that's so interesting," and then it's always like, "Oh, what part are you from?" And then I say where I'm from, and they're like, "Okay," and not a lot of people know about that part that I'm from. But I do I love when I meet people that are like, "Oh, I'm from California," and they're in Texas. I'm like, "What part are you from?"
Yeah.
"Oh, I'm from this part." I'm like, "Okay, I know where that is." Like, little connection. It makes me
Yeah,
feel
you got that little connection.
like it's not just me out here. Like, I got everybody else out here with me. Like, yay!
Yeah, I got some people that know where I'm coming from.
Enough for real, living the Texas life. Just as I say, Texas life, because that's exactly what it is.
That's exactly what it is, the whole culture. So, how was your experience? I'm sure you've been to Austin before, but how was your experience this last time you came over to do what was it, a national tournament, or what was it, what exactly was it?
Texas relays was the last
Texas
time.
Relays, that's what it was. Yeah. I still feel really bad that I missed out on it, especially since I was like literally right down the road. But
It's
tell me,
okay.
how was your experience with that?
It was fine. I honestly like running on Austin's track. Looks intimidating. It looks super freaking big
Hmm.
because I feel like it is. But I like the track honestly in terms of like location and everything because you guys are in downtown Austin and you
Hmm.
guys like major buildings and stuff. And
The
it's a lot.
view, yeah. The view is, yeah.
The view is nice and everything, but in terms of everybody being over there, it gets overly crowded and that's the one thing that I don't like. And it reminds me of San Francisco every time that we come because that's how it is like back at home.
Hmm.
All like it's like a whole bunch of people going to work or it's always like cars traveling somewhere. Like everybody's always moving. And I'm just like, can we just like can we like relax and stuff? But Austin's pretty cool. I haven't been able to explore it only because I don't really feel the need to. I don't have a desire. Like, oh, I think I'm gonna go visit Austin. I really just go just to run and then come back, and that's it.
Yeah, it's Austin's it's different. I'm really used to the country vibes because I grew up right outside of Houston. So I'm used to the country vibes. And Austin is just so packed, like you said. It's always packed and the traffic is awful. But I love this city. It's grown on me. I went to that track, that stadium where you guys ran at,
Mhm.
and it's because it's also like a soccer field in the middle. I went to go see a soccer game as well, and I thought, man, they should probably have their own track just for this event. Because I was looking at like the replays of the relays and stuff,
Yeah.
and it looked really competitive. I really again bummed out that I didn't go because it looked like a really good time.
I've learned over the course of years of being here really like how big Texas Relays is. I'm like, oh, so and they're like, oh no, Texas Relays is so fun. Like it's fun when you're in high school and everything because like you get to run against everybody that gets invited, and then like you get to watch the pros run, and you get to watch
Mhm.
the athletes run. Like I wasn't able to compete in Texas in high school and everything, but when we came here my freshman year, I know I really got the vibe of everything. I'm like, so it's basically it's kind of like Arcadia, which is another high school meet that was strictly just like high schools, but that's how it looked and like that's how it felt. It was just a whole bunch of um and like that's it. But I I like Texas because like it's cool. I like the atmosphere of Texas track in specific because we also had outdoor nationals there too,
Mm.
and it stands packed. I love having fans like from top to bottom. It's nothing against Oregon, of course. Like Oregon's always going to be Oregon, but being honest,
Yeah, what is Oregon, honestly? But that's a different story.
they coming up. Like I mean, they've always been up, but the fact that they got that new track now, it's yeah, they're like on top of everybody in terms of competition and stuff.
Yeah, no,
But
I mean it looked really competitive, and even I'll be honest, when I saw like your run, and I saw some other ones too. And I saw you were like neck and neck with UT. I was honestly rooting for you guys a lot too. Like, man, I this is really, really competitive.
That was I know exactly what you're talking about. That was the sprint man because we it was a 2:2:48, and I was first like I was first like on my relay, and I just remember it was the officials were taking so long. Like we got out there for one, we were waiting in the check area for like an extra 15-20 minutes before we ran, and then when we did like before we started to run, of course you set your blocks and like you tested mine and stuff. We did that. And they were like, "Okay, you guys have a minute." I'm like, "What is going on?" And on top of that, it was hot. So I
Hmm.
had the sun beaming on me. And then we're just sitting there and they're like, "Oh, relax, you guys stay loose. Like you got 7 minutes left." And then I'm like, and then I hear, "Okay, they're about to do the national anthem." I said, "What? Did you guys didn't do this already?" I said, "Oh my gosh." So then, like before the national anthem played, I um I sat down on my number. They have lane little column in the.
Hmm.
It's so funny because I didn't know people was taking pictures of me. Like I knew, but I didn't know like my face in specific of the pose that. And so I was sitting on the number, and the sun like everyone was like, "Why you look so?" I said, "Look, it was a lot going on. Okay, we were sitting out there for 30, 40 minutes at this point, and we still have yet to run. The sun was beaming on my face. I couldn't sleep. It was hot and I was sleepy. I just wanted to go to sleep.
Yeah, like
So
what did you expect?
yes, and they were like, "Cherry, you look so mean." I'm like, "No, like I'm literally just sitting here and I'm just like, what is going on?"
Just
I'm like,
trying to live.
bro. Like, and that picture actually blew up when our photographer took it and like had tagged me in it on Instagram.
I think I saw it.
We ended up beating our own record, which was the collegiate record, but I didn't know. And um, um, our photographer was like, I captioned when the PA doesn't know that uh, you guys set a collegiate record, and I was like, I, oh, I said, well, yay, like yay, of course, like got the record and
Hmm.
everything. But it was my face that said it all, and it was so funny. Like that picture definitely can. If I would have posted be like best caption wins, like y'all got it,
You would have had some good remarks, some good replies.
100%. But I can deal with Austin when I want to.
It's not so bad. So you mentioned that you guys broke a record. One thing I've noticed, like when I've seen people run, is they give it like their all. Like I've seen them like really pushing themselves, and I always thought that was really cool. Like I could never run competitively like that, but just like the way you push your body and everything, like all the training and all the hours you have to put in to get to where you're at, and then like just show off at a tournament. That's got to be crazy, right? Like a little bit of that has to be intimidating because everybody's been training to win in this moment too. How do you balance that?
Prayer. No, it's not just prayer, but really everything is just faith, loyalty, and trust, really. Because like everybody does fall training. Like really, fall training is what sets you up for the season because the season is 6 months long, 3 months indoor, 3 months outdoor, and everybody has the same mindset. Like, oh, they want to be the best, oh, they want to win, of course.
Hmm.
Um, but it's really just how serious you take your training, like how well you take care of your body, mentally, physically, and emotionally.
Hmm.
Definitely mentally, but it can be very taxing on the brain. Like, yeah, of
Yeah.
course, taxing on the body for like just in general because you're being active, you're being physically active every single day. Like even like walking or practice, like your body's nonstop, it's constantly moving. Like there is no
Hmm.
time. There's time you can sit down and stuff, but it's like 5 minutes and then you gotta
It's
go up
not
and
really rest.
no. And so like when we do get into the season and you know that everybody is gonna for the same thing, it's really just um having faith in yourself, believing in yourself, believing like trusting that everything that you've done to like that led up to this point like will pay off and it's really just a lot of trade. I mean, it's really just
Yeah.
a lot because it's gonna hurt. That's the thing, like, that's the hard part. You keep telling yourself you know it's gonna hurt, so, like, don't even focus on it. But it's like, you're so focused on how much it's gonna hurt, you're just like, "I know it's gonna hurt," running, of course, like, to see who's the fastest is amazing. Like, I love
Mhm.
watching. Like, every time I go to meets, like, especially national, I'm like, "I don't even wanna run, I just wanna watch." Like, I don't just let me watch.
Yeah, it's impressive to watch, especially like this last one I saw. Again, I only saw the clips, but I saw a lot of people set personal records and stuff. So it's super interesting and impressive to see everyone pushing themselves that hard.
No, it's really nice, and, like, getting that record, so, like, beating your time that you ran for, it's a good feeling. This year,
Yeah.
I PR'd back to back, and that really
Wow.
shocked me. I was like, "Dang, like, I've never PR'd
You're just
this."
showing off. You're like, man, I'm really doing everything I can.
Yes, and I was like, "Wow, like, I really just did that." Like, I can say that over the course of 15 years, I finally have um I've dropped, like, a whole minute in my time because I went from,
Wow.
like, 61 to 50, and so, like, 11 seconds gone. And so, now that I'm in the 50 point like, I ran 50.8, which is still, like, pretty high and close to 51. I know that this year's definitely gonna be different because I know, I do wanna go pro. Of course, if it doesn't happen,
Mhm.
like, fine, but because I point range and I keep running and drop it low like, to get to that 49 range, like, that'll be something very big. But it's really just all go and just trust trusting in yourself, believing in yourself, like, making sure that you're mentally stable and you're taking care of yourself because it can be overwhelming, be
Mhm.
tired, and from the athlete standpoint, like, this doesn't even include, like, classes that we have to go and be a part of,
Mhm.
uh, like, the hours that we put in for school, like, it's an outlet. It can be used as an outlet, like both school and track. But like track is an individual sport. Like yes, it's a team aspect too, but at the end of the day, if if me am not ready to run or am hurt, like okay, yes, you affect your team, but it's your body. Like
Mhm.
in the long run, properly, or you could just go in and nip it in the bud now. But you just gotta check on yourself mentally. That's really the big part. Talk to therapist. We have people on staff that we can talk to whenever we do,
Oh, that's nice.
psychiatrists, yeah. Been a lot going college
Yeah.
um, college athletics, not something to be messed around with at all.
No, it doesn't look like it. It honestly, it looks like there's a lot of pressure too. Like you said, trusting in your body and its abilities and trusting in your training and being able to, balance school, life, work, and everything, and also push your body to perform at its peak it sounds like it's draining.
It definitely can be draining for sure. Like, I've had a couple times where I'm just like, "Is this really it for me?" Like, I'm tired. And I know people have been running for more than 50, of course, they're retiring now. I'm like, "You've been running for 15 years." It may not sound like a lot, but it
No, that's a
is.
lot. That's a
It's
lot. No, that's a lot. When you said 15 years, I was surprised.
and it's about to be, 6, which is crazy. I know, sometimes I have my second thoughts, but I'm like, "You're just going through a rough patch.
Hmm.
You're gonna forget about the patch when something, big happens and you get really excited or, like, you hit another PR."
Hmm.
So,
That keeps you
it's
going.
definitely for sure, like, the motivation, like, alright, like, inspiration. I know I have so many people that look up to me back at home,
Hmm.
and I have a lot of people that are, like or that are inspired by me, and I'm like, "Thank you. I really appreciate that because
Yeah.
I'm tired." And I definitely
It's
don't
nice
wanna
to
get
see, yeah,
oh,
it's nice to see people appreciate that.
yes, because it can definitely be taxing for sure, but constant reminders, self motivation for sure really plays a part of it too. Will get you, and of course, being around your team, um, being around your teammates, and having that good that'll not distract your mind from um just taking a break away from the athlete perspective and for the college perspective too. I mean the student perspective too, it really helps a lot.
And so one last thing, I don't want to take up too much more of your time, but what's next? So you're going to be graduating pretty soon. I think you mentioned that you would like to go pro. Like, what does that look like? Is going pro being competitive enough to be selected for like the Olympics? What does that mean? And is that something you want to do?
I am going to be graduating in August. Yes. Right now I'm still trying to work out a couple of things in terms of the student perspective because I'm always
Hmm.
going to be an athlete, but I know I'm going to be coming back and using my COVID year because I technically only have an outdoor, but there's waivers that can be signed and given out to people that want to compete indoor. And so I do want a full year, yes. So I'm going to um talk with my scholastic supervisor, talk with compliance, and see like what my options are and what I have to do in order to be eligible to compete my last year here at A&M. Um, in terms of the going pro aspect, uh, and like the whole like getting picked up by agents and everything, it's really about how fast you run. The stuff and like the agencies, like all of the shoe companies, they're always gonna be there. Um,
Hmm.
but it really just depends on like interest in you, like what have you done, like kind of like a popularity thing, somewhat.
Oh.
But yeah, which is a good and a bad thing, yes, because as of right now, there are a lot of fast athletes that are not signed professionally, and they're running as fast as those people that are signed professionally.
Oh.
Like, what's the difference? And that's another battle right now. But all that I'm going to focus on is just making sure that I get through the season very healthy. Pray that I don't have any injuries and trust the process going my last go round as an Aggie. Yeah, or
No,
but
it
yeah,
sounds like you got your priorities right though. That's great.
yeah, it's really just having to stick to them because
Yeah.
it's summertime, so it's definitely
Yeah.
not a priority right now.
Well, there's got to be time for play too.
And I am living it up to the fullest with work.
That's with work.
Yes, work and eating. I have been eating nonstop, but you could barely.
Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. So
Not.
to end it all, you mentioned like shoe companies and sponsors. First of all, if any sponsor or potential sponsors watching, please give me money. I will put your logo somewhere here. Um, that's that's something I advertise every podcast episode. Like if someone's watching wants to give me money, I will put your logo anywhere. I'll cover my face with your logo if I have to. Anything to make this, yeah, anything to make this profitable. But I enjoy these conversations. So and have you been reached out by a sponsor or someone that like maybe I don't know. I know oh, I see a Nike sign on that shirt. I know A&M is usually sponsored by Adidas.
Yeah. Oh, that's kind of weird. Yeah, which is very weird because everyone's like, "Oh, I thought Annie was sponsored by Adidas."
Yeah.
The school, yes, the school itself is sponsored by Adidas, yes, but track is the only sport that is sponsored by Nike.
Oh, okay. Have any of
Yeah.
them reached out to you?
No, they have not.
Oh.
From compliance, which I don't care. Like, I'm grateful for whoever reaches out, of course, and like sees interest in me. One company that I've never heard of, compliance had emailed, me, so we're supposed to be setting up a meeting um
Wow.
with this company, and I'm like, okay, I have no idea who you are, and my mom is gonna be on the phone for it, and probably my coach too, because they said that I
Oh
can
wow.
have any on the phone with me while so. I'm excited to start this journey, and it definitely be like, oh, it definitely motivates me for sure. Like,
Mhm.
oh, like want to reach out to me, and you guys can be represent. Okay, So now I gotta go handle my business on the track so that I
Yeah,
can
that's a
get.
confidence booster too, I'm sure.
Yes, no, it really is because this is it for me. And so definitely gotta be making some big sure.
Yeah. So Nike or Adidas, if you're watching, please sponsor both of us. We'll figure something out on our YouTube channels or something. Um, I
Some
know this is. I know that you said you wanted to post this on your YouTube channel. It'll probably come out on your channel first. I have a couple more conversations that are going to come out before this one, so this might be a month or two after recording that
ooh,
my people get to see this. But I'm sure they'll see yours pretty quickly. So please sponsor us. On that note, I really enjoyed our conversation. I enjoyed keeping up. You know, we didn't get to talk that much at work because of work. A lot of times it was you putting up with my stupid jokes or putting up with other people's stupid jokes, as I can remember.
oh,
But they were good times.
no, it was funny because it it was us talking over the aisles for me. I was like,
Yeah,
"Oh, like, this is what I do," and then, like, you'll respond back, and they're like, "Are they talking over the aisle?" I'm like, "Yes, we are."
yeah. Something's got to make the day go by or the night go by.
Literally. No, I
Yeah.
do. So I've been stabbing you on condiments for sure, and, like, oh,
On condiments, yeah, I forgot about that. Stalking that mayo and that ketchup.
yeah. No, I'm glad that we're still in contact, and with everybody else too, because our working group was very fun.
Yeah, I think so. So thank you for making time. I really enjoyed keeping up with you again. Also, you're welcome anytime if you like ever want to talk about anything else or you know, in your journey you want to talk about anything that comes to mind. This will always be a safe place for you to come and just open up if you'd like
Well, I greatly appreciate it because I was like, "Oh, I'm getting to be on a podcast." Like, it was really
to.
fun. It was really exciting. But thank you for having me because
Yeah, no, of course.
it was really fun and worth it for sure.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to seeing it up on your YouTube channel, and I'm looking forward to people, just getting to see maybe another side of you, which I think that's what you're trying to do on your YouTube channel, and I think that's great. You get to see the student athlete side, and then you get to see a more conversational, outgoing person or version of you. So it's been
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do a lot more a week in the life or like a day in the life, just so
Hmm.
that it's not just school track. Like I'm gonna be graduating soon, so I'm probably gonna do like, oh, a get ready with me,
Hmm.
on my graduation day, um, or like a go shopping with me as I pretend to go graduation dress shopping, even though I'm gonna order it off online, or
Right.
offline. But no, I'm definitely trying to be like more outdoorsy, be like, oh, come with me like to the lake or like come with
Yeah.
me. So, and like I'm even trying to do it on TikTok too. We'll see, we'll see.
Yeah,
But
and so for
uh,
go ahead.
so I was just saying thank you.
Oh yeah, no, of course you're welcome. And so for anyone that's interested, I'll link your Instagram and your YouTube channel in the description, and then I'll tag you once I eventually get to posting it. That way people can learn more about you.
Yay! I'm so excited. Thank you.
You're
Oh,
welcome. Thank you for watching, everyone.
thank you.